Hello everyone, and welcome to Beaglington-On-Sea. But this isn't a proper episode of Beaglington-On-Sea. This is a little explanation about how I'm able to run DCC and DC on the layout. And this is mainly because I had a request from Mr. David Barnett, because I'd mentioned it before about being able to do it, just to explain how it was possible, and I said it would be easier to do with a video. So I'm going to bring the camera around this side of the cliff and show you just how I have it wired up. Right, so we're behind the layout now. As you can see on this side, I have Beaglington-On-Sea, and on this side, I have Project Aldwin, and I have enough space to stand in between the two of them and turn around. So this is where I have my controls set up. I have the HM2000, I have an old Hornby controller with the red knob, and I have a Hornby Select, and it's one of the later versions of the Select, and I have my book here which has my sort of instructions of what to do and the codes for my DCC locomotives. So I'll now move the camera over here and show off the wiring. Okay, so basically I've got a sort of route selection system worked out. I drew it on paper first, but basically for this knob here, it runs to this, for this knob to the middle one, and for the red knob to the end one. And for the select, it runs to this block here, which then separates out in a similar pattern for 3 different outputs. And then these are blocks that come in and out of these. So basically this is the outside line, this is the middle line, and this is the inside line. So the middle line has a different color set of wires, which is red and black. And I'll just get that in a bit better focus. Basically, I can choose to have the outside line. I can go, oh yeah, well, I'll have that powered by the select, and I'll have the inside line powered by the select, but I'll keep the middle line powered by the HM2000 with this knob. But I can change it to be powered by the first knob, or I can choose to put the middle line, say, onto the old Hornby controller, which basically means that if I need a bit more oomph for some older Triang locomotives, I can choose to use this controller with whichever of the 3 lines that I want. And likewise, I can also plug it into the DCC, and it doesn't matter where it's plugged into in the DCC as long as it's in one of the pairs of wires. So obviously I wouldn't stick it across like that. Sorry, you can hear the cat giving out in the hallway. I'm not sure what he's complaining about. So basically that's the inside line there. Although actually I've pulled that too tight now, so the wires come a bit loose, but I'll fix that in 2 seconds. And they're basically just, the wires are just fed into these blocks, and they have little screws that you loosen and you put the wires in, and then you tighten them up again. And so that's how that works. And the track feeds that I have are actually Pico ones, because I think I got the starter pack maybe when I did the inside line, and so I had sets of these. So Smush, will you be quiet? I'm trying to explain my electrics. There he is, see? Anyways, so yes, I've got, this is the obviously the feeds to the outside line, the middle line, and then because of where the points are on the inside line, the feeds are actually over here, so that you can power in. And then also there is a wire just here which is attached to one feed, and then that goes over to between the points there, and that allows you to basically power into the kickback of the siding, where there are 2, because you only need 1 powered rail because of the Insulfrogs coming in, so one of the lines is always live. And so what it allows me to do is change the switches in a way that I can have DC locomotives stored over this side if I wanted to for display purposes, while running DCC on the inside line as well. So I'll just go back to the front of the layout now to end the video. So yes, sorry about the interruption from the cat, but that's basically it for how the power is applied to the layout. Obviously, that means that I can't have engines drive from the engine shed road into the goods sidings over there, because there'd be no power, because both sets of points would be open and they're in Frog, so I can't do that. But Hornby had their 2023 release thing yesterday, and they announced the HM7000, which is a Bluetooth DCC system, and because you can operate that with just the app and a DC controller powered to the max, I can use my HM2000 or my Red Knob controller. In theory, I think this is how it works, turn to full and then put the locomotives on the track and then turn on the Bluetooth and control them that way, if my understanding of it is correct. And that will allow me to run those without having to worry about changing up my DCC system for allowing that to work. But also, the interesting thing will be to see whether I do need to do anything with the layout, because they say, oh, you need to put the DCC clips in with the points. But I don't do that because I don't mind, like I'm not running lots of locomotives at once, I don't have lots of yards or everything like that, so really I'm only running one DCC locomotive on one line at a time. So I don't need to worry about having point clips in, because you have to take them on and off the layout if you're running DC as well, so I can't really be bothered to faff around with that. But also, David Barnett asked me, I think, about the lines not being connected. Now, originally the lines were connected at the back here with points, and in theory that should have been fine, and I could have got insulated fish plates to put between the points between each line. But the main problem I had back here was derailments, because I do have a lot of old trying stuff, and I just found that they weren't running through the points correctly. And at the back of the layout, as you saw when the camera was around here, the lines are very close to the edge. There have been a few accidents. The E4 fell off the layout and dented its coal rails, so it's got a little bit of damage. And then, you know, I could put up something along the back to stop trains falling off, but unfortunately, because of the way the curves are, I'd only be able to do it along the straight part of it, and most of the derailments happen on the curves, so I wouldn't be saving very much. But it's something I could look into doing if I could really be bothered. But yeah, the main reason why the lines aren't connected is just because it was impacting the running, and it's nice to have the middle line, which is mostly Pico Code 100 track, without points, because it means I can run anything with, you know, even the old trying stuff with the deep wheel flanges, and not have to worry about trouble with points. So it's a good test bed for things, just in running terms, and then I can bring them on the first radius loop to go through the difficult points in the Beaglington review, or if they won't do that because they're unhappy with that tightness of the curve going in, I can do it on the front of the layout as well. Yes, Smushpuss, I know you want to be in the video. Cats. There. You're not going on the railway. Anyways, that was just a brief video about the the electrics, and alright, you can go on it for a minute. Yeah, I'll have another new video about Beaglington-On-Sea up very soon. So thanks again. It's always nice to have a question to answer. And thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can like, share, subscribe, and there's the bobble, the playlist thing. What am I going to do with you? Oh, anyways, see you next time.